Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we introduce radians. So what actually are radians? Well, it turns out they're just another unit of measurement for angles. Just like how centimeters and inches are different units for measuring length, they both measure the same thing, so it is with radians and degrees. There's a one-to-one correspondence between radians and degrees. A simple multiplication will let you switch from one to the other. So why are radians important? Well, basically we will need to know them when we do calculus, because the calculus will only work if we're in radians rather than degrees. But we'll look at that next semester. For now, we just need to understand what a radian is, how we convert between radians and degrees, and we'll also go through exact values again. So to introduce radians, I need to start by drawing a unit circle. So a unit circle is one that has a radius of 1 unit, whatever that might be, 1 centimeter, millimeter, whatever. So we're going to draw another line there. Of course, that would also have length 1 because they're both the radius if this is the center of the circle. So we're going to refer to the angle here, I'll call theta, the angle subtended by this arc here. So we're going to define what 1 radian is. So this arc has the same length as the radius. That means it will also have length 1. So if you draw such a circle so that the radius is 1 and it's equal to this arc length, this angle here, theta, is said to be equal to 1 radian. So we write 1 and it's sort of like a little C symbol there. That means 1 radian. So let's figure out what would be this angle in degrees. So we know the whole circumference of the blue circle using the formula 2 pi r, it's just 2 times pi times radius. The whole circumference is 2 pi, 6.28 blah blah blah. So what fraction of the circumference do we have here? Well, of course, this fraction will be 1 over 2 pi. So 1 over 2 pi is, around about a sixth. It's a little less than 1/6. So this angle here, theta, in terms of degrees, will be 1 over 2 pi times 360 degrees, because 360 is a full circle. These whole angles are 360, and this is about 1/6 of it. So theta will be about 1/6 of 360. So we can just simplify this as 360 over 2 pi, or 180 over pi. Now, if you put 180 over pi on your calculator, you get about 57.3 degrees. So that is the conversion. 1 radian is about 57.3 degrees. That's rounded. Its exact value, 1 radian, is 180 over pi degrees. So if we are in radians and we want to go to degree, we just times by this, times by 180 over pi. That's exactly what we just did up there. If we want to go the other way, so if we're in degrees and we want to convert to radians, you just do the opposite. You divide by 180 over pi, which is the same as timesing by pi over 180. So that is how you convert radians and degrees. So for example, if I have 30 degrees and I want to convert to radians, I just go 30 times pi over 180. So remember, I can cancel anything on the top with anything on the bottom. 30 goes into itself once, goes into 186 times, and I'm left with pi on 6. 30 degrees is pi on 6 radians. So let's say I have 5 pi on 8 radians and I want to convert to degrees. So I take my 5 pi on 8. To go from radians to degrees, we don't times by pi over 180, we times by 180 over pi. So now I'm going to cancel again. Both top and bottom have a pi. I'll cancel that. And then to make it easy on myself, I can look at the 8 and 180, they both have a common factor of 4. 4 goes into 8 twice. It goes into 180 45 times. So we get 5 times 45 is 225 over 2. 5 pi over 8 is 112.5 degrees. So that's how you convert between radians and degrees. It's really, really simple. So we don't really need to do too much more to be able to find exact values. So let's say we want to find the exact value of tan pi on 4. Well, all we're going to do is change pi on 4 into degrees because we're used to working in degrees. So pi on 4, if I go from radians to degrees, I times by 180 over pi, I should get 45. Pi on 4 radians, I should put the symbol there, pi on 4 radians is 45 degrees. So tan of pi on 4 radians equals tan of 45 degrees. And we should know from previous lesson, tan of 45 degrees is 1. So if you know your exact values for 30, 45, and 60, you'll be able to use them in radians as well by just following this conversion chart there. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.